Hey tubers, happy Friday, and we're back on this F350 here. Remember we had some door bottom rust, so I kind of wanted to give you an idea of what I've done. The inner lip of this door, this is the outside, the inner lip was pretty crusty and a bunch of it was missing. So I went ahead and cut a window on the outside. There was actually a hole through it, and I'll show you the piece. It had this hole. Okay, now I'm going to show you one of the front doors and kind of describe, since it's still intact. This is kind of what I had going on. This lip was heaved way out, and this inner piece was Swiss cheese like this. Now you can buy these inner panels and the outer panels. I chose not to buy the inners just because I think I can repair all of that without too much craziness. So we'll get back to this. So I overcut the outside a little bit. Yeah, it's crusty on the inside, but it starts to get cleaner as you go. And I can always cut more of this. This panel was not heaved out at all. Back here, this is actually really nice back here. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it. I have really good success with these. If they haven't been heaved, boy, come on, focus. If they haven't heaved this flange out, or the hemline from where the outer door skin is, if they don't heave them out, I have pretty good success cleaning up the rust and then getting oil inside this cavity, and it seeps between the door. Now, it's not foolproof because I cleaned it off already, and I should have started the camera, but I'll show you. Here's the inner door flange. Well, this one doesn't have much left on it. That's a piece of masking tape. There's door skin adhesive that's over this, but sometimes what you'll find is there isn't very much. And then the goop sits down in here, dust that comes down the wipers or whatever, like on the belt molding on the door, the black strip at the bottom of the glass. There's just crap that runs down these doors. Water is meant to go in them and come out the bottom. But it'll crust up around here. Now you can see, maybe you can, jeez, come on, focus. This isn't real bad. I cleaned it up with a disc, and it actually looks real nice. So what I'm aiming to do is just replace that strip. And I tried to stay out of the drain hole area. This has still got just a tiny bit of meat left to it, but I've cleaned all the rust off of it. It's just black. At any rate, here's what I've done. This is kind of a universal door bottom repair panel. You can make these yourself, but I don't have a break here. I give $6 for one of these, so I'm not sweating it. I'd rather buy that and cut sections out of it for these rear doors than to buy this whole outer panel, because I don't need it. It's just not, if you look, this is the top part that would be up here. I mean, it's clean. It doesn't have any scale and rust on it. So there's no reason to go up that high. Now I did do that with the front doors because there's pretty good crown on those doors. I mean, these have it too, but I'm not going very far. I'm only going that little distance. I bought the front skins, and I'm hardly going to use any of them, guys. But these are preformed, and they are really nice. I will probably use 2 inches of that, but for the time it saves me, I'd rather cut a section out of it. It's just the way I do it. So at any rate, I cut this little strip. And that is going to fill that in. Now, being that this is an inner part, I didn't round off the corners of it like I will eventually do this if I don't go any farther. We'll get this tack welded in, but everything has to be clean, both sides. You'll notice there's some kind of coating on this metal compared to what I've ground off of that. So I always clean it up, and I'm going to get that tacked in place. And I'll bring you guys back once I do that. and then show you where we go from there. But that's the piece I'm going to put in. Alright, continuing on with this door bottom. You can see the patch is completely done. I ground the welds pretty close to flush. It really doesn't matter because this patch panel here doesn't really touch this up here. It only kind of gets crimped around the edge here. And as you can see, the door skin actually hangs 1/4 inch below. There's not much of the inner lip that actually clamps to this. It's kind of crazy. But that's the way it is. This is Eastwood weld through primer. This kind right here. It's not that I'm going to be welding on this, but it needs some sort of corrosion protection. So any of the surface rust was either sandblasted and or wire wheeled and treated with phosphoric acid in here. You're never going to see this again. The next time this truck has rotten door bottoms, the rest of the truck's going to be in pretty bad shape. So that's what we got for now. We're going to go ahead and put this panel in, and I've got weld through primer on the back of it, and you clean up your edges a little bit. I can get in there and spray that later, but a lot of times if you have weld through right up close to it and you don't have a perfect panel fit, mine's close. I got a little gappage on this corner here. It's not really that big. I can't hold it and get it aligned tight, but I probably have 1/8 of an inch gap there, and I'll show you a trick for that when I get to it. But I don't know if that'll set there or not, but basically there's your patch panel, and I'll tack it in a couple spots and make sure it fits right, and then I'll go ahead and get this end lined up and get this corner lined up and get a straight edge across the whole bottom. This has been untouched, so as long as you can clip a straight edge on this, you ought to be able to line up the bottom of the rest of your panel. So we'll do that. I'll get some tacks on it and get it welded in here and show you how it works. I'm not going to make you guys watch me weld this. I probably have an hour worth of welding on this, so we'll bring you back after a while. Alright, there you go. Patch is welded in. It has about 45 minutes to do that. I got a few little pinhole spots to take care of, but our match is real close over here. I got a little bit of a ridge here to work down. Just the way it worked out. This flange actually might be in too far, so I might go ahead and roll the lip around on the back and put a pair of the flat channel lock pliers. Let's see where they're at here. What I did with them. I put those on that bottom lip and pick up on it just a little bit as I tap this down, and that should relieve what's left of that. Doors are funny. It's thin metal to begin with. You just got to be careful. You're going to warp it a little bit. This one was the first one of these Ford doors I've ever done this to, so that's a trial and error sort of thing. Find out how much heat it'll take and try not to give it too much. So there you go. I'll roll the back end in and we'll get some filler on it. We'll show you that in a bit. Alright, I said I'd bring you guys back and give you a look-see at this after it was all welded up and ground down real nice. Well, I decided to throw the truck door back on. I don't know why this camera's not focusing so well, but I just had to tweak this in a little bit to meet with the cab corner, the door, front door, and this rear door I'm working on meet nice. I'm going to open it up and show it to you. Now, it's not perfect. I won't bullshit you. It's not perfect. But it, let me open it up here. The camera focused on that. Boy, it doesn't want to stay focused. Probably because of the light coming in from outside. Let's put something like my knee in the frame here. It's darker. See if it'll focus. I got a little dolly work to do. It's not bad. It's mostly straight. Now you can say you don't see it anyway, it's so low, but I'll work it out a little bit and then we'll throw some body filler on it, but not a lot to it. But just take the dolly, and I'm using this dolly right here, and we'll put it on the outside of the door, and we'll take the hammer and tap on this. I've got the edge folded good. I had one of those skin zippers, but I don't know where it's at, so I would have used that, so I had to do it the old-fashioned way, hammer and dolly. I haven't done too much of them this way, but first one I ever did, I took a Jeep rear gate and I peeled this hemline up because it was all rotten, and it's for a buddy of mine. I was kind of doing it as a freebie and to test my skills, and you always have to do some body work on the outside, unless you've been doing this your whole life and you have that skill set that I don't have. But she's ready for filler. I did suck a low spot in it right up in here, but I feather edged the paint back with 80 grit up to here and kept looking and feeling for low spots where it might have warped this door up into here, and so far so good. We'll know after I prime it and I start blocking it if I screwed it up or not, but the best thing to do is to run your hand flat over it and check, and I don't feel anything up in here at all. Not until I get to about right here. So I peeled that paint another 3 inches or 2 inches away. So I'm going to pop this back off and I'll show you how to do these weld zone areas.